All right, let's get more on all of this from Dan Arbell, who's the former deputy chief of mission at the Israeli embassy here in Washington and is currently a scholar and resident at the American University. Great to have you back, Dan. Really appreciate it. What do these preliminary results tell us about how people voted?
It's very interesting, and the night is young still, and we can see new results tomorrow morning or updated ones. But from what we've seen so far in TV projection polls, is that Mr. Netanyahu, the prime minister, is getting further away from the ability to form a coalition headed by Likud party and himself. Second is that the chances of a national unity government between blue and white, the main opposition party, and Likud without Netanyahu are increasing right now. Finally, it's very interesting to see how the Israeli Arabs have now a new key role, and they're playing a central role in the political game for the first time, I think, in the history of the country.
Everybody's keeping a special eye right now on Avigdor Lieberman. It would appear that the Trump administration's support for Netanyahu hasn't exactly given him that edge in this election. You know, if Lieberman were to come out ahead, what sort of policies do you think we would see from him on settlement and annexation issues? So
Lieberman is going to play a key role in the next government, whatever that would be. And he's kind of the kingmaker, but he will not be heading the new government. The new government will be headed either by Mr. Benny Gantz, the chairman of the Blue and White Party, or somebody from the Likud party. Mr. Netanyahu seems unlikely, but somebody else who would succeed Mr. Netanyahu after he's been prime minister for 13 years. So I think that on defense and foreign affairs, I think we'll see more or less not a big difference between Mr. Gantz and Mr. Netanyahu, but I think domestically there will be a new, fresh start for the new leader to kind of try and bring everybody back together, because the country has suffered a lot of divisiveness over the last few years. There's a lot of issues that need to be reformed domestically, health, education, welfare, and all that is going to be quite different under a Gantz leadership.
And what would the relationship, do you think, be with the United States, with another leader? And also, what would that mean for the Middle East peace plan that the Trump administration's been pushing?
So I think, first of all, it's obviously the Trump-Netanyahu bromance is unparalleled, and it will be difficult for Mr. Gantz to step into Mr. Netanyahu's shoes in that regard. But U.S. and Israel relations are beyond personalities, and they've been strong and solid for many years, and I believe Mr. Gantz will establish a good relationship with the president. As for the peace plan that you mentioned, I think that there's a greater chance that actually there will be more traction for a peace plan under Mr. Gantz, who is more of a moderate and may be more forthcoming in terms of the Israeli-Palestinian relations.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how all of this pans out. Dan Arbell, appreciate you coming on to help us speculate a little bit before we get the final results in.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.